Good morning. And we're going to start today in deer pose. Not like, but like prancy little deer pose. And I'll be your mirror. So take your right heel in front of you and your left heel behind you. Now, if you're in quite a tight body this morning, you can pull your heels closer to your midline. If you're like quite flexible, you can move your heels further away from your spine. See if you can sit upright. If you need to, you're always welcome to lift, like sit on something. Stretch up nice and tall.
Maybe hip bones don't touch the ground, should I just...
Yeah, if it's like close, it's cool. If not, you can put like a book or whatever underneath. Good question, thank you. And lift up nice and tall, and then turn to your right. And you can use your right hand to let you twist a little bit more as well as stay upright here. You can allow your chin to come over your right shoulder. Take a nice full inhale, and with your exhale, just sigh it out through your mouth. Nice. I got 2 mats out for you guys. They're in the back there. And we're shooting a video, and don't worry about it. You can walk in front of it, Nora. So with your inhale, really feel your spine stretch tall. With your exhale, enjoy the twist. I think it works. Huh? Or it's either that or come up all the way up here. But you might be in the video then. Exactly, you got it. So first, just notice what you showed up on the yoga mat with today. Notice if it's your thoughts, or your feelings, or sensations in your body. And just notice what you can mentally kind of put to the side and pick up after class if you need it. Or maybe something you know that you really want to digest and break down and take away transformed. Take a nice full inhale, stretch up tall. And with your exhale, turn back to center. And you're going to take your left leg and you're just going to stretch it out in front of you. And then do a little dance. Oh, you got that little enthusiasm this morning. Nice. And let your belly button twist over your beautiful extended left leg. And then bow down over your left leg. Let your head be heavy. Practicing these first couple poses in a yin style. So not trying to get anywhere, not trying to be anything different. Dropping into what you are, where you are, how you are, right here, right now. I have these two words running around my head this morning. It's radical holism. How to be really complete. Or how to be full and really taking kind of the view of inclusion, whether that's in your own practice, in your own body, in your own feeling life, or whether we can practice that walking to a room. Noticing all the individuals, not just the special ones for you. And with your next inhale, roll up, and you're going to put your right hand behind you. And you're going to take your left hand, and you're going to stretch like a really nice good morning stretch the whole left side of your body. Take a full inhale and maybe sigh out some good stuff. Oh. And then exhale, bring your hips back down and switch your legs. So you bring your left heel in front of your groin, your right heel behind you, coming into deer pose first, Sana Love. And kind of nice and upright, trying to balance your weight between both of your hips, both of your cheeks. And then lift up tall with your inhale, and with your exhale, placing your right hand onto your left knee, help it twist you. And so you can feel this is quite a yang yin pose. So notice, where do you need the active muscles, and where do you need the surrender and release? And pair if you need to orchestrate elbow moving. We can do that. Sounds like a puppet thing. You can let your chin kind of start to float over your left shoulder. You can feel perhaps your right thigh and knee, because you have an internal rotation there, balanced by an external rotation in your left leg. And you can feel in your body that we're more used to an external rotation. So radical holism. You can start with this worldview of inclusion, that all the past was necessary to get here, even with its frightening and horrific past. can imagine like a fairy tale, and that all the characters were necessary for the whole story to happen. Instead of dividing it into like, oh, they're good and they're bad, starting to notice that even the trolls and the witches, the thieves, and usually the first son and the second son, or the first daughter and the second daughter, are completely necessary for the whole fairy tale to transpire. You might even notice in yourself you have these different characters or archetypes. Not only being royalty, but also a trickster. Inhale, get tall. And with your exhale, twist open. And you're going to take your right leg, stretch it out in front of you. Should feel pretty nice. And give yourself a little dance. Now, I usually joke about the ska dance thing, but you really want to let it twist your spine. And then twist over your beautiful right leg and bow down, letting your head drop. Allow your breath to help you. Take a full inhale, and with your exhale, just sigh it out through your mouth. So one of the practices I try to do, and probably have a lot of room for growth in, is when I look out into the world and I notice strife, and I notice, what I like and what I don't like. Strife, where things are in conflict, like a fight. I try to be in that moment looking at how does the world actually reflect the inside of my being. Or how does this, for instance, environmental crisis, where do we as humans in ourselves suffer it specifically? Or do we have the same crisis, but it's not in the atmosphere of the ozone, but it's kind of in the atmosphere of our thoughts? Or where am I battling one part of myself against another in that same way that people and countries can fight? And how can I make amends in this kind of manageable sphere of myself? Can I practice being a peacemaker even within the boundaries of my own domain? And then inhale up. And this time stretch your right arm up, place your left hand behind you, and stretch the whole right side of your body. Mm-hmm. And with your exhale, come back down and come into a comfortable seated position. So we can start to move into the more fire burning. And if I could get Kirsten to move just one side or the other, and Alva, you can slip in there, that would be perfect. Thank you for helping me with this. So bring your hands to heart center. Root down to rise up. Thank you so much. Take a full inhale. Now, just as a transition, move into child's pose. You want to stretch your arms out in front of you. Hips push back to your heels. And feel when you reach your arms just a little bit further forward, really straightening your elbows, activating your fingers. Notice that that reach forward pushes your hips back. Find that spot and then tuck your toes under. Leave your feet and your hand exactly where they are, except for if you need to scoop back on your yoga mat. And then extend and lift up into downward facing dog. So a nice extended child's pose shows you where your hands and feet go in downward facing dog. And then you got it, Georgia. Wiggle around. So maybe rotate your ribs around your spine. Get a little wave going in your spine, a little sassy wiggle in your hips. Awesome. And then inhale, stretch your right leg up to the sky. Wiggle it around, shake it out, bend and straighten your leg, maybe try to kick your own butt. I always imagine if I take care of that first thing in the morning, then maybe the day will be a little bit more gentle. And then just let your hip open and close. Beautiful. Now bend your knee and really reach your right knee out to the right and then make some circles with your knee. So you can feel your femur bone rotating. Bless you all, rotating in your hip. Nice. And then stretch your right leg out and relax it down. Stretch your left leg. Shake it, wiggle it, bend it. Kick your own booty. Yeah. Good morning. Perfect, Alva. And then bend your knee and point your knee to the left. And then you want to do these big, nice circles with your knee. And you really feel your femur bone rotating around in your hip socket there. Sweet. And then stretch your left leg out and exhale, relax it down. Inhale with a little soft bend in your knees, pull your hips up and back. Exhale, empty your breath all the way, and then hop your feet in between your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release and bow down, let your head drop. Push down with your feet and rise up, roll up tall, stretch your fingers to the ceiling, and exhale, Samastitihi. All right, let's get this fire really blazing. Inhale, stretch your arms up. Exhale, bow down. Inhale, halfway lift. Feel your abdominals engage and step back to plank. And then with your next inhale, just inch forward to your tippy toes. They're nearly rolling over your toes. Then lower down, touching chaturanga. You can come all the way down to the ground. Flip your toes over. Inhale, low cobra. Notice you can float your hands if you want. And then exhale, downward facing dog. And then inhale, move forward into plank. Again, find that little saucy edge at the tip of your toes. And this time lower halfway down, chaturanga, your gaze going in front of you. Inhale, upward facing dog, your heart in front of your shoulders, toenails pushing to the ground. Flip your feet over. Exhale, downward facing dog. And then inhale to plank. Move to your tippy toes. Lower halfway down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, chaturanga before you push back into downward facing dog. Yeah, perfect. Thank you so much. That was awesome. So that's your like mild, medium, and spicy. And you want to practice where you need the practice. So do you need practice backing off? Or do you need practice pushing a little bit more? If your back is building strength, do low cobra. Take another full inhale, empty your breath all the way, and then float your feet quietly in between your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release and bow down. Let your head drop. Push down with your feet, rise up tall, reach up to the ceiling. Exhale, samastitihi. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bow down. Inhale, halfway lift. Walk or float. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, feel your hips pull up and back. Exhale, feel your heels dropping to the mat. And you can feel the bony part of your elbows reaching towards one another. Take another fueling inhale. Empty your breath all the way and float your feet in between your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release and bow down. Push down with your feet. Rise up tall. Stretch up high. Exhale, samastitihi. Then bend your knees. Drop your butt. Inhale, Utkatasana. And we're going to take a couple breaths here. So I kind of want you to imagine that you're like a divinity who throws lightning bolts. Yeah, it's a big deal. So find the weight in your heels. See if you can rock your weight back to your heels. And sit up a little bit more. So like you're sitting on a throne. You can not tuck your tail. You want to reach your hips back and reach your chest open and up. So you feel this squeeze in your lower back. Maybe you imagine it's a massager. There you go. Notice if your mouth is doing weird things or your hands. Stretch through your fingertips. Smile if you're feeling radical. Weight into your heels. Take another nice pair. Take another full inhale. Let your heart open up. And with your exhale, bow down. Inhale, halfway lift. Walk or float. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, stretch your right leg up to the sky, and with your exhale, step your right foot all the way forward to your right thumb. Back heel stays lifted. Rise up, crescent lunge. One breath. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, stretch your left leg long. Exhale, carry your foot all the way forward to your thumb. Rise up, crescent lunge. Exhale, sweet chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Point your toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a full breath in. Exhale, just sigh it out. Feel your fingers spread out. Now, bend your elbows and let your elbows come close to the yoga mat. And then squeeze them together. Squeeze the bony parts of your elbows towards one another. So like this, Nora. Yeah. what part of the elbow is not bony? Very good question. The sweet, soft pit on this
Oh,
side.
so you want to go like turning.
Precis. Now, with that rotation, start to straighten your arms again. If you ever need a little extra, you can always bend your arms like this in downward facing dog. Take another full inhale. Empty your breath all the way. Walk or float your feet in between your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release and bow down. Let your head drop. Bend your knees, drop your butt. Inhale, Utkatasana. Let's take a couple breaths here. Now, where can you create space? So notice that you can let your hips drop down as you extend the space between your ribs and your hips. Reach through your fingertips. Pull your arms back by your ears. Maybe imagine you've got sparkles coming out of your fingertips, if not lightning bolts. Take another full inhale, and then exhale, bow down. Inhale, halfway lift. Walk or float. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, stretch your right leg up to the sky. With your exhale, tap your left elbow with your right knee. Inhale, stretch your right leg long, and exhale, step your right foot to your right thumb. Rise up, crescent lunge. And with your exhale, bring your hands to heart center and twist to your right, hooking your left elbow to the outside of your right knee. Now push down your bottom hand to lift your heart so your hands meet between your breasts, I guess nipples, we've all got those. And if you're wobbling, you can always step your feet further apart to give you a bigger base. Take another full inhale, exhale, twist here. Then inhale, crescent lunge, exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, breathing through your nose, upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, stretch your left leg up to the sky. With your exhale, bend your knee, take it across your body and touch your right elbow. Inhale, stretch your leg long. Exhale, step your left foot to your left thumb. Rise up, crescent lunge. And with your exhale, bring your hands to heart center and twist to your left. So you want to allow your elbow to hook on the outside of your left knee, your right elbow. Now push down. Let it lift you up. Be active in your back right leg here. Maybe see if you can lift your heel higher. Yeah, and then push your heel back. Take another full inhale. Exhale, twist. And inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, sweet chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. And this time, kind of let your knees soften. Bend your knees and let your knees hover towards the mat. And then pull your hips up and back. And then straighten your legs out. So, yeah, the message is if you're bored in a yoga class, you can always do turbo dog, which is with your elbows bent and your knees bent. But your spine long and straight. Take another full inhale. Empty your breath all the way and walk or hop your feet in between your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release and bow down. Let your head drop. Bend your knees, drop your butt. Inhale, Utkatasana. And this time, just make some circles with your knees. And then make some circles the other way so they don't get dizzy. Then see if you can sit down and lift up your heart. Take another full opening inhale, and with your exhale, bow forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Feel your abdominals engage and jump back to chaturanga or step to plank or something in between. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Now inhale, stretch your right leg up to the sky. And with your exhale, tap your left elbow. Inhale, stretch your right leg long. Exhale, right knee, right elbow. Enjoy a push-up. Inhale, stretch your right leg long, and exhale, step your right foot all the way to your right thumb. Rise up, crescent lunge, looking upwards, and then with your exhale, you're going to fly forward into airplane. Reach through your fingertips. Try to square your left hip down by rolling the pinky toe on your left foot to the ground. Straighten your legs. Both of them, all of them. Palms pushing down to the ground so you push the air underneath your wings. Lift your hands a little higher, Nora Love. Take another full inhale here. Exhale. Then inhale, crescent lunge. Come back to where we were. Exhale, open up, warrior two. Inhale, reverse your warrior. And exhale, sweet chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, stretch your left leg up to the sky. Exhale, tap your right elbow. Inhale, stretch your left leg long. Exhale, left knee, left elbow, enjoy a push-up. Inhale, stretch long. Exhale, step your left foot all the way to your left thumb, even if you have to help it. Rise up, crescent lunge. Your gaze lifting in action. And then with your exhale, fly forward. Now, just like, carrying a child who's been asleep or a child who's awake, the sleeping kid is like way heavier. So wake up your right leg. You want to feel your pinky toes rotating down to the ground to let your right hip square to the ground. Engages your abdominals more. Lengthen your leg out. Inhale here. Exhale, then inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse the warrior. Exhale, sweet chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or the other one. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathing through your nose, even when it's challenging. So in BKS Iyengar's book, Light on Yoga, he talks about even when you have a cold, that you can help your physical health by sitting down for 15 minutes and practicing just the Ujjayi breath. It'll help you get rid of your cold. As well doing neti pots. They really help a lot. You might notice, oh yeah, right now sounds like a great time to go do one. Take another full inhale. Empty your breath all the way and then hop your feet in between your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release and bow down. Let your head drop. Bend your knees, drop your booty bravely and low. And then exhale, samastitihi, stand up. Let your hands relax down. All right, so we're going into tree pose. And the first variation we're going to do is we're just going to bring our right foot to the inside of our left thigh. I am being your mirror. You don't have to overthink it. Now, if you have a hard time taking your foot above your knee, that's fine. Just have it below your knee. You just don't want to push your kneecap. Now, find a place to look at that's above the horizon so the back of your neck lengthens. And then your brain can even be part of this posture. Bring your hands to heart center, just like you're pushing your foot into your thigh and your thigh's pushing into your foot. Push your hands together. Now here's for a radical practice. See if you can smile a little bit. It's hard, but it's worth it. It's kind of what, radical inclusion feels like, I would say. It takes will. It takes an act of faith and kindness. And then release your hands down. Release your leg down and just do a little shake. Stand upright to start with. This is your template. And then bring your left foot to the inside of your right thigh. And you really feel like it's normal to kind of push with the foot, but you don't want to push your leg out to the right. So you're pushing your right leg back. Maybe even engage your root lock. Bring your hands to heart center and practice looking up. I want to see your sparkling eyes. Yes! Notice if you're leaning to one side or the other. Find your uprightness. It's actually one of our senses. We can sense uprightness and perpendicularness. And that's right. If you're really not sensing it, Use the wall. That's great. You can even picture a wall behind you. And then release. Do a little rib roll, hip roll, booty shake, shaking the soft spot shake. All right. Now you're going to lift up your right foot again and bring your hands into prayer. And then just see if you can take your foot away from your leg. Oh yeah, it's a little bit awkward. It's like Hydranasana. And then see if you can bring your foot back. And you might notice it's not as high as it was, but leave it where it was. Unless it's right on the kneecap, then adjust. And then see if you can take your foot and bend your left knee and slide your foot so you make a shape of a figure 4 here. Yeah, nice. Flexing your foot protects your knee on the right side here. Stay upright in your chest still, like you're a ruler. And then release, wiggle, shake it. Oh yeah. All right, got the left side still. Bring your foot, bring your hands together. So a ruler, not a straight wooden stick, but more like a sovereign, a queen, a king. That's what I was thinking. So lift your gaze. Oh, yeah, perfect. Notice how you can, stand on one leg and smile. And then just take your foot, lift it away from your thigh. Try not to just hike up your hip. And then actively bring your foot back. It might be a little lower. That's a little of that humble pie. And then the tricky part, you're going to bend your right knee and slide your left ankle to the outside of your right knee. So you have like a figure 4 here. So keep lifting your chest as you drop your hips. Oh, very nice. Okay. Stand, shake it out, shake it out. Inhale, stretch up nice and tall. Walk to the top of your mat if you're not there. Exhale, bow down. Inhale, halfway lift. Walk or float. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. Point your big toes straight back. Yes. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, stretch your right leg up to the sky. With your exhale, take your right knee to your left elbow for a humbling push-up. Inhale, stretch your right leg long. Exhale, right knee, right elbow. Do a push-up or running man. Inhale, stretch your right leg long. Exhale, step your right foot all the way forward to your thumb. Rise up, crescent lunge. And with your exhale, you're going to fly forward into airplane again. Now inhale here, and then bring your hands to heart center. And with your exhale, start to hinge forward, coming into Ekapada Uttanasana, standing splits. So one hand at a time to your ankle. Try to reach the ball of your big toe on your left foot up to the ceiling. Let your head drop down. Now, release your hands down to the ground. You keep your left leg lifted. Bring your hands, do a halfway lift. And then with your exhale, just wave your right arm up to the right. A little bit of a twist here. Beautiful. And with your exhale, bring your right hand down again. And you're going to bend your right knee. And you're going to try and bring your left foot in front of you and lift your left foot to the outside of your right knee. And see if you can lift up your chest. Oh yeah, that was a little complicated. All right, find the weight in your heel. Now here's the tricky part. See if you can lift up your leg and turn the rotation of your knee. Remember how we started class? Yeah. Keep that bend in your standing leg. And now reach that behind you and take your left knee behind your left knee. Stretch it out. Stretch your arms out. Come down into a very dramatic curtsy. Probably never done this before, pair, huh? Very nice. And then inhale. Oh, just stand up and shake it out. Oh, okay. We got another side. Inhale, stretch up tall, like the sneaked vinyasa. Exhale, bow down. Inhale, halfway lift. Walk or float. Exhale, sweet chaturanga. That was nice, ladies. Inhale, upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, stretch your left leg up to the sky. With your exhale, take it to your right elbow. Enjoy that humbling push-up. It's hard. Inhale, stretch your leg long. Exhale, left knee, left elbow. Push up a running man. Or running jump, that's nice. Inhale, stretch your leg long. Exhale, step your foot forward. You got it, Camila. Rise up, crescent lunge. Fly forward into airplane. Yeah, get active. Drop your right hip by rotating your pinky toes to the ground. Bring your hands to heart center and bow forward with your next exhale. Ekapada Uttanasana. So you bow forward and then release your hands, grab your ankle, put your hands on the floor. Let your head drop. Reach through the ball of your big toe on your right foot. So in Waldorf education, when you're younger, often you learn things forwards and backwards. I feel like this is a little bit learning something backwards. So this time, bring your hands out in front of you. Keep your right leg lifted. Bring your hands out in front of you, underneath your shoulders. Inhale, engage and stretch your torso. With your exhale, just wave your left arm to the left. Oh, yeah. And then you're going to bend your left knee, and you're going to bring your right foot forward. I grab my foot with my hand and lift up my foot so it can come over my knee. Yes. And then from here, lift up. Bring your hands to heart center. Oh, yeah. Try to lift and straighten. And then you're going to lift your foot off of your knee, float it, and then turn your foot out so you have this weird inner rotation of your thigh. And then take your knee back behind you. Keep bending your left leg. Stretch your arms out. The only thing bending is your left leg. A fancy curtsy. Oh, did I hear, oh, fertilizer? And then, oh, yeah. And then just do a little happy dance. Shake it out, shake it out. All right, inhale, stretch your arms up high. Exhale, bow down. Inhale, halfway lift. Walk, fly, or float. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale to plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Oh yeah, it looks like a push-up. 3 more. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. I think there was 1 more if I said 3. And then come all the way down to the ground. Fantastic. So if you've noticed, we've worked on some strengthening. We have a little bit, last little push of our strengthening before we have the Sri Shavasana. All right. So stretch your arms forward. Palms facing one another, and bring your hands to touch, and then bend your elbows and bring your thumbs to the back of your neck. Beautiful. Now, mentally, notice you want your left leg, and especially your left hip, pushing down to the ground as you lift up here. So inhale, lift up your chest, lift up your arms, lift your elbows as high as you can to the ceiling. Now keep pushing down on the left side and bend your right knee, keeping your knee in line with your body. Yes, and now reach your hands to your foot and your foot to your hands. Oh, I'm sorry, you're not changing your hands. You're just trying to get them there. Yeah, oh yeah, you're not going to touch it probably today. All right, and then release. That's cool. We totally have another side to try. So we're building strength here, which is, it's hard. You feel the effort. So on the second side, you're going to concentrate on pushing your right hip down to the ground, your right leg, so that your left leg can lift up and bend. Bring your hands back to prayer. Take your thumbs to the back of your neck. Squeeze your elbows towards your ears and back. And now reach your fingers towards your hips and inhale, lift up, bend your left knee, pushing with the ball of your big toe. Keep pushing. Yeah, thank you. That was perfect, Georgia. Keep pushing down and lift up. You're nearly there. Whoop. And release. Okay, you're nearly there, but like that was on your way. Really feel how hard you have to work in your back body for those fingers and toes to get anywhere closer to each other. Okay. Una más, en gång till, noch einmal. Bring your hands together. One more time. Now we're going to tie it all together, of course. You can squeeze your legs together and bend your knees. And then inhale, lift up. Try to reach your fingers to your feet. Bend your knees, bring your feet to your buttocks. Stretch up tall, lift up higher. Now, if you want, see if you can release your hands, stretch your arms out, turn your palms back, and grab onto your feet. Oh yeah, that should feel kind of nice. Perfect. Now inhale, lift up, maybe a hint of a smile. You feel so powerful now. You're amazing. And then lower down to the ground. And just go, oh. All right, bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Tuck your toes under. Chaturanga, to plank, to downward facing dog. I like the little body slap in between. That was awesome. Now either practice floating your legs through your hands and come onto your buttocks, or walk your feet up to your hands, sit down, and come onto your butt. Very nice, very nice. All right, we're going to do a seated twist to end today. So you're going to put your right foot in front of your left knee. Up, I'll be your mirror. Sorry, I was being your mirror all day long. Yes. And inhale, stretch your arm up. Now let it lift you tall. If you need to, you can totally extend your bottom leg. You got it. No? Yes. And then turn away from your arm. Sorry, Pear, you're the one who had to change. I knew there was something. So the good thing is, like, if you have your opposite arm over the opposite leg, then you know you're twisting. It's a little, you could also think if it's too easy, you're probably not twisting. Inhale, get tall. Exhale, get twisted. Let your chin come all the way, your right shoulder. Let your heart be lifting. Lift the tips of your ears up to the ceiling. Oh, very nice adjustment. And then before you let go of the whole twist, just allow your chin to slide over your left shoulder. The secret name of this pose is Sexy Asana. But it really just does a nice S twist in your spine. And then unwind and just do a little bow to your left side. And then come back up. Put your hands behind you. Switch your legs. Very nice. Wiggle around. You want to be able to have your left foot and both of your sit bones on the ground. If you need to, you can slide your left foot forward. And then stretch up your opposite arm. It should be your right. Let it lift you up tall. And then turn away from your arm. Elbow to the outside of your left knee. Inhale, get tall. Exhale, get twisted. Feel the inhale allows you to lift away from gravity, and feel how the exhale allows you really to use gravity, to surrender to it. A twist is a dynamic relationship. often between your shoulders and your hips. So they're going in opposite directions, but we find where this is a gift. We have the capacity in us to include all of ourselves. Allow your chin to spin over your right shoulder. I'm recording. You're so beautiful. Take it in. And then unwind. And then we're going to have a holy spandasana to get to the ground. What? A holy spandasana? All right. So you're going to balance on your sit bones, stretch your legs out, and just see how much like a, I don't know, jellyfish you can dance. And get lower and lower and lower. Maybe take your legs and arms wide and down into Shavasana. Feel the ground catch you and hold you. Palms open to receive. Feel free to get something to warm yourself up. If you have a hard time keeping your eyes closed, you can always cover your eyes. But let the solidness of the ground hold you. But instead of drifting to sleep, you want to stay with your consciousness here. Practice being present. Practice listening. With your next inhale, invite your breath to the edges of your body. Wiggle your fingers and your toes, your face and your nose. And then roll over onto your right hand side, hugging your knees to your chest. And just noticing and feeling the vitality in your body coming from all of you. Full and complete. Help yourself up into a comfortable seated position. And notice that you can be so radical, you can root up into the stars, as well as down into the middle of the earth. Find yourself between those two. Bring your hands to heart center. Empty your breath. Take a full deep inhale. Bring your prayer hands to your third eye. Invite the divine light. And as we bow forward together, we say, Namaste. And then make a little noise. And thank you so much for helping with me the video. Feel free to subscribe.